Enough of that. We have our game number 1 of this final semifinal series starting. It's MarinelorD in the red playing as Molly and VortiX in the blue playing as the English on Basin.
Here we go. Both players actually opening up with a very early wheelbarrow. So that's going to be immediately the thing that we're noticing here. And also VortiX opening up with his own barracks. So it is going to be that early man-at-arms push that we're going to be seeing. Also, not just going out with those man-at-arms, sending the villagers out as well. So outpost maybe, like with those man-at-arms, could be happening here.
Yeah, so it does tend to play into exactly what I've expected against Molly. Having Molly start with a full set of houses around their pit mine and that many villagers, it's just too strong for them. Plain and simple. You have to find a way to deny some of that passive resources, and that's where you'll see it now. VortiX, he's found out where that initial pit mine is. He's going to try to get over there, obviously, not only with the men in arms, but the villagers as well, get an outpost, deny the whole pit mine, deny the houses around it, and forget what we were talking about. We're needing the extra torches. You got those because you brought 3 villagers instead of 1.
And not just that, you also got 2 scouts that you start with here, so definitely no shortage when it comes to those torches. Outposts already getting dropped, and look at that, the 2 gold mines! They're close to each other, right next to each other, so if VortiX get this outpost up, it's gonna immediately give him a good position to torch onto the other one. And MarinelorD is pulling villagers, but the man-at-arms is just around the corner.
And not only that, these are English villagers. He could start shooting them with the short bows and kiting them back away if he wanted to. I'm surprised he didn't actually. Could have just gotten some extra free damage if he wanted. But this starts the pit mine burn, and that's the key. You see it here now. First man-at-arms, immediate focus, pit mine. Scout, pit mine. Another man-at-arms, pit mine. It is all about denying the gold generation as fast as possible. Delay the cow boom. Delay this tempo that the Molly has.
And this is also why the English are just so strong here in Empire Wars. They're starting off with 8 farms immediately, ton of passive, like, not passive, but like active food that you're getting here, that you're gathering up there. And there's the next one. The next outpost is immediately going to be coming in. Yeah, MarinelorD is going to have a tough start here. He's not going to get a lot of passive gold, and look at that. He's immediately starting to make cattle. He was thinking that he could get some easy gold here early on.
Yeah, was not going to be able to play out as expected now. MarinelorD does have to react, drops triple production building, stables, double range. He's going with some javelin throwers to start out, and stables, I'm sure we might get some sofa, maybe some warrior scouts potentially.
Janissary is the first unit to be coming out here. VortiX on the other side, making his own longbowman. Hasn't scouted out the production buildings yet, is a little bit busy with trying to torch down that pit mine. That's definitely information that he will like to have here in a little bit, but he's going to see that javelin throw making his way across, so he's going to have that. Looks like at one point, MarinelorD, he also lost one of his scouts there. Only having 1 scout right now out on the map.
Yeah, and VortiX is able to circle around, sees the pit mine immediately when it gets built, when the houses are starting to get built around it as well. So at least has the information, might not have a way to deny it. He's sending longbows across. He's got longbow men-at-arms versus that warrior scout javelin thrower.
So far, he just keeps massing up these javelin throws, but it's tough massing javelin throws when you're low on gold, and we can see that right now. He has only 22 gold in the bank. He needs 40 for every single javelin throws. He's just massing up a lot of these warrior scouts right now as well. Warrior scouts don't do any bonus damage until you get into Castle Age, until you get the veterancy upgrade on them. That's when they actually start doing bonus damage to range units. Until then, they only have their base stats going for themselves.
And look at that, a man-at-arms is already over on that eastern gold vein, I think. Yep, he arrives right as MarinelorD moves out, not only with the villager, but 5 villagers have moved out that way. A javelin thrower reacts, but VortiX, he has more military headed this way to support him. And so wants to have this main focus. It's all about denying Molly's side.
It's going to be a lot of pressure here coming out. Man-at-arms in position, but yeah, that's a lot of javelin throwers out right now. Should pretty much be enough to start one-shotting. I think just one more to be able to one-shot these longbowmen. And also a thing is that the javelin throwers, they have 1.25 tiles of movement speed compared to the 1.12 from the longbowmen. So they're quite a bit faster here, able to catch up and take them down. And VortiX is going to lose a couple of these longbowmen here.
Not only the long moments, the javelin throwers are able to get some damage onto the men-at-arms, onto, I think basically every single VortiX unit is going to end up taking a decent amount of damage here just because of the mobility that you were talking about. Not only the javelin throwers having the movement speed, but obviously the scouts having the greatest movement speed and the ability to heal. So VortiX just says, all right, send the men-at-arms in, might as well get as much return damage if they're going to end up dying anyways.
Now MarinelorD still messing on a lot of these javelin throwers. We don't see any horsemen yet coming out from VortiX. Instead, he went for a second TC, so going the eco-scaling route now behind this.
The thing is you're just now building this. This is just, it feels a little late. You invested into a lot of military and you lost a lot of that military. You've delayed Mali on the other side quite a bit, but they've still now have like this defensive. They have 12 javelin throwers already. They got 8 warrior scouts. This is like a huge amount of units for MarinelorD, and he's still being able to get pit mines. He's still being able to get that boom going behind this too.
Yeah, getting the second pit mine over there, quite big. He didn't have to invest anything so far into this defense here. And I mean, he got the first pit mine completely for free, right, from Empire War, so it's not really like he lost anything, or at least didn't lose anything that he actively invested into. Those 2 pit mines are now going to be able to supply him with the resource that he needs. And now, actually, MarinelorD in a position to snipe out any new units coming out here from VortiX as the production building, the barracks is forward.
Yeah, the barracks, it's going to end up going down. Not only that, the houses can be pressured. The edge of those farms can start to be pressured as well. I mean, this is just great where MarinelorD, when you get forced to making units and you've pushed your opponent back, you might as well be doing something with your units. And so that's where he ends up getting great damage out. Barracks has been denied.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the horseman switch here so far. There has not been a barracks coming out yet. That came out yet from MarinelorD. At least I don't think so. At least no Donzo has been produced so far. And having this horseman is also really, really great. Oh, no, there are... Wait, never mind. That's MarinelorD, right? Yeah, that is MarinelorD's production buildings. So, no horseman yet from VortiX. If VortiX gets horseman out, they are so great at finding out these production building locations, or rather the location of these pit mines out on the map. Oh, sheep.
Take some free sheep.
And the javelins, they're just going to be able to duck and dive and kill villagers here.
Yeah, this is just where it's so difficult to play against javelin throwers. Even if VortiX is looking at this, which he is, it's like, all right, great. Jumps inside the TC. This is so much idle time and maybe gets 1 return kill, if that.
This is a very tough decision right now. He keeps massing more and more spearmen. Now, spearmen are great against the warrior scouts and also do pretty well against the javelin throwers. At least they don't take any bonus damage from them. And they aren't... They have the same amount of movement speed, so they're able to at least catch up in some regards. Oh!
But there again, it's the beneficial trades for MarinelorD. He's dealing with this raid at home pretty easily, just with a few more javelin throwers and getting pressure on the 2 TC of VortiX. So VortiX hasn't really been able to create an eco lead. And in reality, if you look at how much passive resources MarinelorD is going to be able to get, especially if Castle Age comes, it is a scary situation for the English player.
Considering how many cows MarinelorD already has, like every single cow in Castle Age is going to be worth like 1.5 villagers. Oh. Not able to get too much there though.
2 surrounds. Oh, only 1 after after the Vills kill some for the escape. So only 1 villager kill there. Could have been a lot worse.
And now VortiX actually going to be in a position here to go up to the next age. MarinelorD only lacking a little bit of gold to age up as well. Got a lot of wood remaining, though. I think what could be the option for MarinelorD? I mean, there's already a ton of spearmen out, so I don't think it's going to be Sofa play. Then again, Sofas are just so good universally. It might still just be a complete Sofa play here.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that the extra wood, you can just drop whatever production building he wants if he wants to go into anything different. But I mean, I feel like Sofa are just so strong when you get that imported armor and you have so much food coming in from your Grand Fulani cow boom.
Right, so as soon as MarinelorD gets that Grand Fulani up, it's going to be like he's getting an additional 30 villagers immediately worth of food income just with that cow boom. VortiX, he's going to go for the King's Palace, so he's going to need a little bit of time to get an even kind of income through villagers. And even then, like the villagers, they take up population space, the cattle don't. The cattle don't take any population space up at all. Right now, MarinelorD, he still has what feels like the superior army. It's going to be very difficult here for VortiX to push out. Maybe it's going to be a Man-at-Arms play with the upgrade Man-at-Arms.
I mean, yeah, like you said, I feel like the MarinelorD army, it's the army that you can dive TCs, you can dive the English base, and it doesn't really matter because it's javelin throwers, especially once you get some upgrades and castle ages through. And I mean, I feel like it's going to be hard for VortiX to actually become fully online. These farms to the east, he hasn't been on for like the whole entire game. He's been on the deer for a while, but those are going to be running low here pretty soon. And look at the food income difference. VortiX isn't even at 1,000 food per minute, and MarinelorD, we're about to see his food probably up at 1,600 here in a little bit.
It's going to be able to rise quite a bit, and behind that, MarinelorD, he's not going for the Sofa play. Instead, he's getting the Musafati Redundancy upgrade. Musafati is going to be in queue. That's a great counter to any Man-at-Arms coming out from VortiX.
Yep, going ahead and getting the ranged armor number 2 because it's English that you're playing against. That is one of, actually, I probably would say ranged armor is your biggest priority against English, especially if you're trying to be aggressive towards them.
Both players also going for the relics. MarinelorD already has 2 imams in queue. VortiX just now getting his monastery up. Couple more Men-at-Arms in queue. Armorclad also coming out. With Armorclad, these Men-at-Arms actually take a lot less damage from the javelin throwers. Javelin throwers have a high base attack damage, but getting 2 bonus pierce armor there gonna make a big difference.
Siege engineering starting to come in for MarinelorD. He's gonna want to start dropping some rams and actually going for this all in. He sees the army composition, he sees the spears, he sees a couple of the Men-at-Arms, and probably going to go ahead and click on those in a little bit and see if Armorclad's through, because you definitely want to know that before taking fights. But look at this trade already. He's getting a good amount of the spears dead, although doesn't matter super significantly. He's still taking some decent trades.
I mean, VortiX, he still has the Longwoman. Longwoman 1 more ranged than these Javelin Throwers. And when it comes to actual engagements, the Javelin Throwers will have to get really close up into the face of the army from VortiX in order to actually be able to hit the Longwoman, which in theory shouldn't be possible with a frontline from VortiX. So the Longwomen are going to be able to do a lot of damage to the Musafati warriors. Like, in actual battle, it might be that VortiX's army is still going to be better here.
The only problem is the numbers. Look at not only the numbers on the field, look at the numbers in queue. MarinelorD, 15 units in queue. He's got 55 units now.
Food income.
It's
the food income. It's just such a big difference. Villagers don't want to be there on the front line. Wants to get an outpost out in the middle, but looking at the army here from MarinelorD, it doesn't feel like he has the position to actually get that outpost up.
There's the Musafatis, there's the reinforcing units. Look at how many there are. He immediately has to fall back. VortiX immediately starting to run away, and just too many units and reinforcements on the way. MarinelorD, he might just choose to continue to pressure this, continue to take this dive even under the TC fire.
That's the network of castles now, though. That means the Longwomen are going to be firing quite a bit quicker, but VortiX still doesn't want to take this engagement yet. Doesn't have the army count. Not by a long shot right now. MarinelorD, almost 30 more military units out on the field, and that's what's like one of the great strengths of Mali, being able to completely flood your opponent with military units.
Food per minute compared to VortiX just now got up to 1,400 because he built another set of farms. But you can just see how online this Mali economy got earlier than English, and it's just the tempo's too much right now. He's just going to burn down the TCs. He doesn't even need the Rams. He got siege engineering and just, why build the Rams? He has enough units.
And the Rams are going to be there to also annoy the military units, because what he's going to need to pull some military units or villagers in order to take care of the Rams. And there we go. Rams are getting built now. And look at that, VortiX. He doesn't have a lot of leeway when it comes to his population space. If these 4 houses get taken down, he's going to be immediately pop capped.
I mean, MarinelorD, I feel like he's about to be pop capped at 200 just with how many military units he's producing. It's 65 villagers, but he's already about to hit triple digits on the military.
And now the Rams are going to be coming in. VortiX is still producing a lot of units, but it's 47 Musafati warriors out right now and 40 javelin throwers.
And look at what he focuses right off the bat. It's the production. It's going to be even harder for VortiX to stabilize if he can't have production.
Network of Castles once again activates, but the flood is in. So many units out here for MarinelorD, and it feels like it's going to be nearly impossible here for VortiX to hold this. still falling back more and more, but the longer he falls back, like, he's not going to be able to mass up as quickly as MarinelorD is able to reinforce this.
He finally is starting to get a bigger queue. Has about 10 units in queue. That's the first time I've really seen that from VortiX. But MarinelorD, he's only dropped to 90 units during this timeout, and it's just VortiX taking damage, and MarinelorD is just looking like his numbers are steady and staying where they're at.
In such a huge mass, he definitely needs siege in this one, but no siege workshop out from VortiX, no siege in the queue, and he doesn't have the wood for any siege as well. 30 military units versus 92, and the army count from VortiX is falling further and further behind.
And game number 1 goes over to MarinelorD. Just shows that Molly tempo, shows that cow boom paying off and just dominating with that military ball.
Look at that military count. That's just a huge climb there. We can see the eco count there from VortiX looking great with that 3TC play. But it's so deceptive because the Malians behind that, they got the cattle. So they got like an invisible 30 villager on top of that, on top of what you see here right now. So it's more been like even between these two players towards the end. And if you look at the military count, just an absolutely insane climb there for MarinelorD.
After he hits castle, you just see the astronomical, the graph just goes straight up. And then there's a point where that graph almost goes to vertical because of how many units MarinelorD was producing, just dropped a ton of production and nonstop had that flood go into VortiX's base and didn't let off the gas. But game number 1, solidly played out by MarinelorD. And we will not have a mirror matchup in game 2. It's Delhi versus Mongols on Hill and Dale.
All right, that's going to be another interesting one. Delhi, also very good civilization here for VortiX. Hill and Dale, we saw it earlier. The Mongols looking very good there on Hill and Dale as well. We saw B with a very big army mass there, being able to flood his opponent. But it's going to be an army composition that I'm not sure is going to be working out there if we play against Delhi here in this one. Mongols versus Delhi. It's going to be interesting to see what VortiX exactly is going for. Maybe like his brother, he's going to go for the Tower of Victory into mass infantry kind of play here.
Well, you say like his brother went Tower of Victory into Ghazi Raiders.
that might have not. Maybe later on it would have been another unit. The game kind of was over before then.
Yeah, you're probably right. But as we see countdown, not too long here, we're getting the game set up, and I mean, this is really one where Hill and Dale. It surprised me to see these civilization choices, and we'll see what the pros have in mind. But a huge gifted subs coming in. Appreciate that right before game number 2. MarinelorD as the Mongols in the color red, VortiX as the Delhi in the color blue.
Yeah, we're here on Hill and Dale, immediately seeing all of these scout-like units. We got the Khan here as well, making their way onto the map, getting all of those sheep. And something that we haven't done here so far, I think we could go over it again. Like, we're playing Empire Wars here. It's a little bit different than your usual game mode. You start off with a lot more villagers than you usually do. And the Mongols, they immediately start off with their Uvu and 2 pastures right on that. So they get a lot of passive sheep there from as well. On the opposite side, the Delhi, they start off with a mosque with 3 scholars immediately inside of it. So they get a little bit of a boost to their early research timing. And we do see the Tower of Victory here coming out and the Silver Tree from MarinelorD.
Yeah, Silver Tree and markets. This is one thing about Hill and Dale. The markets will have a spawn at times where it's just like nice tucked into the corner. Obviously, you can't wall it, but you get some nice kind of like tree line protection. And as the Mongols, you kind of drop some outposts along there. So it works out perfectly for you. And you have that maximum efficiency for how much gold your traders bring back in.
Yeah, you also got these nice natural defensive walls here. Natural walls on this map. Scout units, Scout and the Khan, just passing each other there. We already see some Spearmen out from MarinelorD. Double Blacksmith coming out here now for VortiX. He's gonna get us all his research going nice and quickly. Immediately on Feudal Age, also queuing up all these additional technologies. Sanctity also in queue. We see Stable now coming up from MarinelorD, so very likely gonna be a Spearman and Keshik kind of composition. VortiX already got the right production building here for this one, immediately coming up with the barracks here.
Yeah, I mean, as expected too. I feel like all of these higher elo players, when it comes to the Mongols, the French, the Rus, like you're going to be expecting Knights, Keshiks, like any of that mobile unit that has that very, very strong charge attack. It's hard not to not to produce it. And with the Mongols, if you're going trade, you finally have a unit to spin your gold on when your trade boom pays off. So that's why it's that much better as well.
Look at that. One of each production buildings here coming out from VortiX. So he's going to be able to make a very diverse army composition here early on in the game. And two of his units, both the archers and the spearmen, are going to benefit from that tower victory. Each going to get 15% bonus attack speed here.
Yeah, that's really one that, especially as that archer ball, that spear ball gets bigger and bigger, it gets scarier and scarier to deal with it when you take those full head-on engagements. Like, you'll be like, oh, the numbers are even. Why'd I lose that? And it's like, tower victory. That's why you lost it. His are better.
Yeah, exactly. And that now, first units making their way across the map. Ghazi Raiders, Archers, and Spearmen all in production. Can we check if VortiX put his scholars inside the production buildings? He put them inside the stable. Yeah, two still inside of that mosque in order to boost the research timing. First blacksmith upgrade somewhat halfway across. Look at that. That's not a 1-1-1. That's a ton of extra archery ranges.
Yeah, MarinelorD heavily transitioning into those archers, and you have to respect the Delhi's ability to be able to do that efficient production, like you said. He can easily move that scholar into the archer range if he needs be and produce up more archers or produce up more spears if need be. So very, very cool ability to transition if needed, or if he's able to produce any extra scholars, he can actually just sit them right on inside all of them.
Sanctity is almost completed, so I guess VortiX right about now would be sending out his initial scholars out on the map in order to start capping those sacred sites. If we take a look on that, I think the first one is just about to make his way over.
Yep.
First scholar,
and the second
already
one.
there.
And one thing we haven't talked about is the sacred site location. Looks pretty nice for VortiX, having two on his side, almost like behind his, level with his cliff.
The cliff cuts off one of the sacred sites a little bit. It would be ideal if it was like MarinelorD, right? Like, MarinelorD's base opens up straight towards those sacred sites, but they're a little bit further away from him. Overall, though, a very nice spawn. Not too biased for either player, but now this is a huge army here from VortiX. Don't think MarinelorD already has what it takes in order to fend this off, and there we go. Spearman out. Gonna get caught off guard, though, by the archers there.
Yeah, not only does he not have the numbers to take this
he can
fight,
wall.
His army split, and VortiX is about to wall off the trade, totally neutralize the trade where the silver tree's coming from. Doesn't choose to do it yet, just a nice gold for a second.
He should do, though, right? Like, he totally should just put a wall there.
I assume so. I don't know why he wouldn't. He might just choose to wall around the silver tree straight up. That might be the idea.
Also catching some reinforcements here.
Oh, didn't quite get the units on there that he needed. Takes out another two traders. But MarinelorD has pushed up in the middle. He has canceled out the reinforcing units. Has a big little archer ball that he's built up. But VortiX has the exact unit to deal with that with the Ghazi Raiders and his own archers.
The wall did not get built. Which, I mean, many times you kind of forget about the Delhi, like actually being able to make walls with the infantry. Like that happens to a lot. It happens to me every time as well.
Yeah, it's so much easier to call that out when you're cast, and we make all these realizations. Keshik's so close. One does end up falling, but it feels like VortiX, again, not taking the most efficient trades, but he's fine. The reason being he was waiting for the Ghazi Raider reinforcement, going for the surround.
Archers.
Like I said, the perfect counter unit to the archers.
So many of the reinforcements archers here are going to get taken down, and what's coming next here?
More archers are coming. Why would you do that? Just run away, MarinelorD. Why would you group back up? You can't even kite this out. You're doing negative damage to those Ghazi Raiders.
That is so much damage on these archers.
Why are you making it's more archers? Every
VortiX
time I
already
see it,
has
it's
the
just more
blacksmith
archers.
upgrades. VortiX already has the blacksmith upgrades. MarinelorD doesn't have any.
Every time I see a red unit running from the top, I'm like, maybe it's going to be a spear, maybe it's going to be a Keshik, and it's more archers. It's not what you need, MarinelorD. You have taken you've been taking awful trades right now. Behind this, Delhi been able to control 2 sacred sites and deny the majority of trade. 3rd sacred site starting to be capped as well.
This is a very good start here right now for VortiX. MarinelorD definitely on the back foot here right now. Massing up more and more archers right now. He needs to get a really big army going.
I feel like VortiX is at the point with Delhi. Their tempo, they can just deny the trade fully. And with Hill and Dale's, the 1 gold mine on your walls, like, you can basically just never allow Mongols outside the walls, never allow them to get gold, never allow trade to get online if you do this correctly.
Look at that, behind all of this, VortiX is about to click up to the castle age with a huge military lead behind it all. 3 sacred sites, providing just with so much income here.
Yeah, MarinelorD has to nonstop produce. He has to respect the numbers that VortiX has, but compound of the defender, and it's not just a few villagers building it. 20 villagers on that compound of the defender, wants to get that through as fast as possible.
VortiX, he went up with the Tower Victory, does not have the bonus scholars here from the Dome of the Faith, so the techs in Castle Age are going to take a little bit of extra time for him to research, but he's immediately going to have access to the Lancers, going to immediately have access to Man's Arms. That could already be very, very big here, considering that MarinelorD's main army is just consistent of archers right now.
Yeah, and the key is he almost already had all the feudal age techs through already. I think there were just 1 or 2 blacksmith techs that were just barely finishing, and he can click up all of his castle age research techs, and now just needs time. Just go ahead and give yourself some time, start massing up some castle units. Once you get a few of those castle units there, your spearmen archers on the other side, good luck fighting some men-at-arms or some lancers.
Yeah, behind all of this as well, like, he's also picking up a lot of the relics. 2 relics already going over to VortiX here. One of those relics also was on the side from MarinelorD here. That's a very, very nice relic pick there.
Techs do take a while to come through with only 4 scholars, and like you said, those scholars, they're picking up relics. They're not inside the moss, so taking even longer. However, there are lancers there, and we just saw the archers shoot on all on top of one of the lancers. Think it did negative damage. The mobility is on VortiX's side. He's gonna take this fight, gonna take this engagement. Spearman numbers starting to thin out quite heavily, and there's still a good amount of lancers here.
A lot of the Ghazi Raiders did go down though. MarinelorD trading out effectively here with his own spearmen. There's only a couple of Ghazi Raiders left remaining. First Lancer, already low HP as well. The caches from MarinelorD though, very low HP. And he's still on the back foot. He has to retreat further and further, and more units coming out. VortiX up on 8 Lancers right now.
Yeah, this was the perfect timing to push in. He knew his reinforcements, they were going to be the mobile Lancers, the very tanky unit. As MarinelorD's army thins out, he's not going to be able to clean up those Lancers whatsoever. The archers can't focus in on the spears at all, and there's only a few spears left on MarinelorD's side.
Spearmen get taken down. Great micro here by VortiX, taking down the Spearmen. Now the Lancers are able to clean up. More Lancers coming in.
5 more spears though. Again. 5 more spears coming in from MarinelorD. There's not as many archers left for VortiX here to be able to clean up those spearmen very, very quick. And MarinelorD, he's at least able to hold this initial push for a second. But look at what's going on the other sides of the map. A few Lancers get split off. They're demolishing, decimating the trade. And as I said that frontline push got stopped for a second, it was only a second indeed, as VortiX keeps on the push, and MarinelorD, he has 0 tempo. He has no ability to hold this now.
He has no food in the bank. It's going to take him a while to get up to the next age. It's not really an option for him right now to macro towards that. He needs more and more military units out right now. Great micro from him though, able to split off a couple of units, make sure the trade is still going. But this only prolongs the inevitable problem here of VortiX just getting this huge ball of units that is upgraded in Castle Age.
Yeah, VortiX, he's starting to have so much gold in the bank, he doesn't know what to do with it. Like, you can spend it on a bunch of units, you can spend it on, you know, a bunch of scholars, essentially, and that's about it. But he doesn't have the extra food, doesn't have the for those units, and he's got 13 Lancers out already. He doesn't even need more units. He just needs to take fights over and over and over again. Still has 3 relics, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him secure the last 2.
That is not enough units against these Lancers. And VortiX, he knows. He's just pushing further in. Couple more Spearmen there. If they're able to clump up against the Lancers, they're able to take good trades. Oh, it's not enough. It is not enough.
Spearmen got thinned out so quickly. There's 6 Spearmen left. Every single time one runs to the front, I feel like it immediately gets focused by the few archers that are there, by the Lancers just kind of transitioning that attack, and MarinelorD not able to take it on the game number 1, throws in the towel, VortiX tying up the series.
Here we go. Great display here from VortiX on the Delhi. Able to take this game, just the better engagements there in the midfield, and yeah, MarinelorD just was not able to get up to the castle age here. Means that VortiX is going to be able to equalize the set so far. 1-1 for now.
Yeah, very early on, like you said, those engagements were taken so well by VortiX. He was doubling the unit count for MarinelorD. MarinelorD got to the point where he had to respect that, create more units. VortiX stopped his production for a sec, went to castle. You can see that line stop for VortiX and go straight up for MarinelorD, but that's because of the trade that happened right before that. Hits castle age, gets upgrades, gets the stronger units, and game is over from there.
Yeah, looking at the military graph, we see past Castle Age, it looks like the military graph goes down even. The thing is, though, that what's remaining there for VortiX are these high-value Castle Age units. Meanwhile, MarinelorD, he had to reinvest so much more into his military after losing his mass that he just never was able to go up to Castle Age behind that. With that, game number 1, rather game number 2, it's an equalizer now. 1-1 each, and now we're going to be going over to Canal. It's going to be Delhi from MarinelorD versus Mongols for VortiX, and Mongols are so great on Canal. It is so nice to be able to scale both on water as well as passively scale the trade.
Yeah, this is one of those I mean, just flip-flop the civs from last map, and we did see the Delhi mirror before on Canal, so obviously that is one of the civs that people think is a strong suit, but Mongols would probably go right in behind that. Battle for the river, but the trade will be booming as well.
Yeah, both civilizations have some great bonuses when it comes to water. MarinelorD with the Delhi do get fishing ships which are able to shoot out arrows. So early on, in that kind of period of time, the Delhi fishing ships are able to make a difference potentially if both players take their time to go up to the feudal age. But the Mongols, they get that passive stone income with the which in Empire Wars you get straight off the bat. So being able to get like these really quick emplacements out on your docks can be very beneficial there for them.
Yeah, and I feel like this map especially is one of those where once you get your initial forward dock, like you'll see a lot of players actually focus on that first dock for like right in the middle of the river. And once you get emplacements on that, you start immediately denying the fishing on the other side because of how far it can shoot, how much vision it can give you.
Exactly. Having that dock in the middle gives you so much vision, so much map control as well. There's only one impasse through which you can go. Either you go, like the map is split into 2 sides. And you can only go through one spot in the middle, one side to the other, or all the way from the back of your base. So having control over that middle part of the map means so much for your mobility to be able to like navigate the map here.
Yep. That's just another reason. It's not only the food, because there isn't a ton of other food on the map other than these shoreline fish, but it's also that mobility, like you said. But in just a second, we'll be getting into here. We'll be getting to see what type of early game strategies these players will be going for.
Indeed, and here we go. Game number 3 in our second set of the day, the last semifinal in this series, Empires at War. Starting off here, we see MarinelorD in the color red playing as the Delhi Sultanate. We're here on Canal. On the opposite side, we got VortiX playing as the Mongols. Both players immediately sending villagers out towards the middle, wanting to get those stocks up. Interestingly enough, MarinelorD only sending a single villager out, so maybe he wants to go for a little bit more of a defensive dock, not immediately in the middle shallows where you're able to cross. And there we go, does put it a little bit further back.
Yeah, no 5-vil scholar play like we saw in the Delhi mirror earlier. It's just 1-vil moving up with this kind of somewhat normal opening for a hybrid map. silver tree already getting built. 9 villagers on it. He wants that finished as soon as possible. You can start queuing up traders if you want, and he can start. Oh, and look at the aggressive dock that VortiX is placing. He scouted out MarinelorD's initial dock. And he said, "All right, fine. You gave up that middle one. I'll take that positioning for myself then."
Look at that. Uwu working hard on the back. Already almost got the required stone that he needs in order to get an emplacement up on that dock. He's going to be able to contest all the shoreline fish there in front of the dock from MarinelorD. That is going to be a very great position here for VortiX to start the game off in. Silver Tree as well is going to be able to scale his economy with that trade. MarinelorD, though, opening up with the barracks, gets the spearman out already. And if I saw it correctly, VortiX opened up with the stable. So
yeah.
MarinelorD already having the counter out.
Yep, having the correct counter out, but not having the mobility that he needs. So, you know, those Keshiks that pop out, they'll probably not take any engagements against those spears if possible.
There we go. Age Up came in. Just needs a little bit more wood for that emplacement on the dock. It's going to be a light chunk to start off with, though. And after that, immediately queues up the emplacement on that.
Yeah, and the thing about it, though, there's going to be this timing where MarinelorD might be able to push back this archer ship, but more importantly, he might be able to kill one of those villagers with his Springald ship when it pops out.
Yeah, Springald ship could do some good damage there. Has an archer ship in queue right after that. But the emplacement already halfway through.
That emplacement just goes so fast. If he's able to kill down the archer ship, then those spears will become so much more effective. The villagers, though, they're pushing up. Nose emplacement's about to come through. The spearmen
the repair is so quick.
The repair's so fast. The archer ship, though, starting to help. The spear focusing in on a villager. The Springald ship focusing a villager as well. One of them almost going down. One villager does end up falling.
Killed 2 spearmen, though. Good value there. Gained, actually. And as long as he's able to keep that one alive, okay, he's not going to be able to keep that one alive much longer. Or is he?
No, another villager's going to go down.
But now he has a war chunk out.
So he does end up keeping the archer ship alive. I thought MarinelorD was going to be able to take it out. He prioritized the villager instead. Needs one more Springald shot, actually. Oh, and it hits the Springald ship. Oh, no. It's 1-1 out for VortiX, though, and this usually pushes back MarinelorD completely. If VortiX steps up too far, though, this gives some vulnerability to any sort of ship coming out, whether it's Demo, whether it's Springald ship, can easily kill the counter, and great trades there, but not for long as the Demo kills both and finishes off the trade for VortiX.
And behind that, look at that, VortiX, he's got the Keshik out, managed to deny some of the gold here from MarinelorD. Gold villagers did get idled out. Sanctity has finished up now for MarinelorD, but he hasn't been able to send out any scholars yet to Onslaught Sacred Side.
The first trader just starts popping out for VortiX. Another couple in queue. Second one is already out as well. So as you mentioned, that eco getting invested into in a couple different ways for the Mongol side.
Thank you there for MarinelorD. Another archer ship. So demo ship out again.
He needs that archer ship to kill the demo. Does get a Springald shot with it. Oh, and it perfect actually explode.
Yeah, that was really nice. Very much needed for MarinelorD. But the gold denial there actually now paying off for VortiX. It means that MarinelorD is not able to queue up a demo ship here. Doesn't have the gold for it.
No, he does not. He's also spotting out the trade, though. Spearman should potentially be able to pick up this trader. VortiX, though, he reacts quickly to it. Things going on everywhere, though, as the more and more of the ship trades on the river. It does seem like MarinelorD is getting ready to do one of these capture all 3 sacred sites at the same exact time to guarantee himself at least one, or actually, I would say guarantee himself 2 of them.
It's going to be a nice spot there for him. Keshiks are out, but MarinelorD already has the Spearman in position. Yeah, Trader going down here went the long route around. Keshiks don't want to protect that one, though, from the looks of it. Trade under attack, but I think there's some archers coming from VortiX. Let's get quickly. Did VortiX go into a second market there? Oh, the dock's on fire.
Ooh, Doc being on fire is a huge fallback. It's not just those traders, that's military units that's reinforcing the trade from VortiX. So he's investing into this. Spot kills out the Scholar before Northern Sacred Site was able to be secured by MarinelorD, and MarinelorD loses his Doc. He's deli with 2 Sacred Sites though. VortiX hasn't really invested into the fishing himself, but does have the control of the middle center.
Oh, one chunk. All right, got stuck there. So gets taken down. The demo ship is going to be able to take down the buckler. And now the archer ship remains able to take down the fishing ship. MarinelorD, he still has a lot of the spearmen out on the field. Now also getting some Ghazi raiders out. Doesn't have the food income support anymore from water though. Not that he ever really had that. That was aggression immediately out there. It looks like he's just trying to take down the dock now from VortiX. Lots of units heading toward there.
Yeah, this is the problem though when you lose water. Look at the food resources for MarinelorD. He's on to the berries now. The next food is the deer and 1 other berries. Other than that, that's it. And so there's going to have to end up being a farm transition. It's going to be this struggle timing if VortiX just extends this out, especially because he has trade investing into as well.
Look at the amount of scholars MarinelorD is investing into right now. 6 scholars in queue here. So he's going to try to get his tech ups in really, really quickly. Also now transitioning heavily into an archer play. So getting his tri-composition out. The only issue is that for now, it feels like VortiX, sure, he doesn't have as much military out on the field. But the amount of archers he has, if there's a clash right now, he should be coming out on top.
Oh, and the Keshiks getting a good dive in onto those Ghazi raiders. Spearmen weren't quite close enough. And MarinelorD just trying to build up this military mass. Hasn't been able to quite secure multiple sacred sites for an extended period of time.
And behind that, VortiX, he's very happy with just being able to secure his trade route. Behind that, also scaling on water, so gets additional income from that. 25 military units, though, compared to 37. MarinelorD able to suddenly scale up his military production very quickly. But at the same time, I say that a lot of that military is just the scholars and 1 fishing ship.
Yeah, the question is he going to bring those scholars forward, try to like force this head-on engagement on the trade? He can like, there's double markets on either side, so the trade can be repositioned. MarinelorD actually choosing to wall off the sacred side on the bottom instead of just the full market as well.
Oh, it's suddenly having a lot of archers as well. They're just not in position right now. I feel like right now MarinelorD actually suddenly was able to mass up enough units to, if it comes to a clash, MarinelorD would win the next engagement.
Yeah, pretty heavily, even without the 9 scholars being there for him and kind of deceiving the military number. It's the other units that are there that all of a sudden have equalized the count so quickly. Spearman count is up at 16, and there's just not anything close to that on VortiX's side. So the melee front line is way stronger for MarinelorD.
Go. Archers clashing against the archers. And VortiX notices that the army count here from MarinelorD a little bit too strong. MarinelorD, if he just gets a little window here, could potentially wall out that market. He's waiting for more and more reinforcements as they're coming in. Also able to deny the trade with the archers there. Not quite. Trader makes it out alive.
Just barely. Wall on the south side.
Oh, it got completed.
Does not get denied. The spear gets killed, but not before he has done his job. He has successfully finished that. Trade gets denied. 2 more traders fall.
With 2 sacred sites, MarinelorD now looking in a good spot. Neither of the players looking to go up to the castle age right now. 3 sacred sites. Clash about to happen, but still MarinelorD's army here. Looking solid. Solid army mass. Able to micro the Ghazi raiders back when the spearmen come in. And then pushes back forward once the spearmen get thinned out. Great micro here. Keshik's only just now diving in, but the spearmen front line, it's too big. And with that, VortiX has to fall back for now. Back to the outpost.
But he knows if he falls back, he loses his economy investment. He's still just having to take this fight, taking it under the outpost. Archers just trading against archers. Ghazi being that frontline mass. There's no more spears really here anymore for VortiX.
Army value looking heavily in favor for MarinelorD right now. A lot of these archers are out, but no more frontline. Couple spearmen though. And the Keshiks are weak. They don't have a lot of HP remaining, and there aren't that many archers on the front line anymore. From VortiX, it's 17 archers to 36.
Yeah, doubling the archer count number. And I mean, you're getting to the point now where you just start taking down the Keshiks with your archers.
Exactly. The outpost just not able to secure that last little bit of the trade line here. Traders making their way into the outpost for safety. Able to get some of the spearmen down with it. I think at this point in time, I mean, the other market is not walled out yet. VortiX could, in theory, just send all of his traders to the other side. He can send them right through the middle, because the middle is controlled by him.
MarinelorD having to reposition his food onto those other sets of berries, so doesn't have a ton of food left for himself, but doesn't really matter at this point when you have that much military advantage for yourself. You can take the whole map control.
VortiX with that market, trading out the gold that he's getting here, buying some wood for it. Wants to get more and more archers out, but MarinelorD still right now heavy military lead for him.
Still just
been howling for a while.
Galley in the middle, showing what you were talking about. You don't really have this mobility and choice to be able to reposition, but with this many archers, you're just going to take down the galley. 2 shots here. Fishing ships aren't able to outheal that, and all of the fishing ships, they go down. Even more of that economic advantage of VortiX getting denied by MarinelorD's push. Yeah, he can... Oh, demo ship does as best as it could. MarinelorD, quick reaction to it, just loses a few spears. Archers in spread formation were ready for it. VortiX still just doesn't have the numbers.
If that was a demo ship from 2 years ago, not just the entire army from MarinelorD, but I think his entire base would have gone up in flames. But yeah, right now MarinelorD still having a solid military lead here just means that VortiX is not able to take any of these engagements. MarinelorD going out on the map, getting that berry income, getting the deer. He's on 1,500 food per minute. Meanwhile, VortiX, he's sitting in 500.
Yeah, that's really the big fallback here. He just got all of his fishing denied. That was his main food. You can see he's moving out. Looks like everyone go to the deer. I need food, and we need it now. But this really gives the... Oh, and wood as well.
Yeah, the wood line in the back of his base, it's completely run out. He doesn't even have enough wood for a gur there. He has to wait for his gur to arrive.
Oof, not a good look. This is there's a little bits of these vulnerabilities, these timings that can be so detrimental when it comes to Canal. MarinelorD taking another fight. Archers, though, they're just so massed up. Spears are there to protect them from any of those Keshiks, and the Keshiks are very, very few in numbers and gets cleaned up very easily. MarinelorD taking another winning fight, slowly kiting back, not allowing the archers for VortiX to really trade as best he can. Reinforcements arrive for him, and he's the one moving back forward.
Calm goes down every now and then. VortiX able to get a little bit of map control to get the trade running, but these traders, they're going to go down. They're not going to be able to get these resources out. Trade connecting, gets taken down. Now the archers, they're exposed. VortiX has to fall back again.
There's 0 spears for VortiX. He stopped his spear production totally. So now the Ghazi Raiders just get to run rampant. They get to take perfect trades. The spears, they just get to sit on the archers in case the Keshiks try to dive. And the numbers for the archers, they're already more numerous than VortiX. This is looking like game. MarinelorD, just absolutely, it's looking like he was on when it was on Mali. He's at 90 military units with only 65 economy.
And only 30 military units for VortiX here now. MarinelorD looking very, very solid in here. Behind all of this, I mean, VortiX, he still keeps trading to this one outpost, to this one trade market. There's still another one on the opposite side of the map. I mean, he's not pushing out there. He doesn't have the... He feels like he probably doesn't have the map control there. But, like, the army from MarinelorD right now, it's very much, like, slow. It's mostly infantry.
Yeah, instead, though, MarinelorD just... This is the time. He's just going to continue to push up, take unit after unit after unit, starts to burn down the outpost. The few Keshiks that arrive immediately have to turn around and run back home, tail between the legs.
4 sacred sites now. Sacred site victory approaching, and the military mass from MarinelorD still so strong, so overbearing. Only 24 archers compared to 53 here. And
feels
VortiX
like the
is
old
trying his
Delhi.
best, but yeah, he's just not able to push this back, and with that, GG gets called. It's gonna be a 2-1 so far for MarinelorD in this one. MarinelorD taking game number 3.
Yeah, just another huge military ball for MarinelorD. Said you have to respect it, but VortiX wasn't able to do so with the food income that he had. Right when MarinelorD took down all the fishing ships, I feel like that was when he knew he had the massive leg up.
Yeah, we take a look at the economy count. It looks like VortiX was in a really strong position there, taking the water, taking the trade. But then MarinelorD just able to pump out so much military mass there, being able to completely overrun VortiX, taking that trade position there at the top side and just making sure that VortiX trade is not going to go unpunished.
Yeah. Really solid game there by MarinelorD. Made it look quite clean. There was a time that we were actually talking about VortiX being so far ahead with the economy, like starting to get that leg up. But then we just looked at the military count, and MarinelorD just was outmatching VortiX so heavily there.
Yeah, just that military graph tells the whole story. With that, we're going to be going over to our game number 4. And this time, it's going to be a little role reversal here as we see MarinelorD playing the English and VortiX on the Malians here.
Yeah, so we talked about it last time. I'm assuming that we're going to end up seeing the same exact thing from MarinelorD, where he goes into the men-at-arms. He goes into this early outpost rush to try to deny the initial gold vein and the secondary gold vein, because Mali's one of those civs that if you slow down their tempo, you can actually find vulnerability there. If you let Calboom get online, you just lose.
Yeah, on this map, it's going to be a little bit different as well, because you got 2 gold veins at the start, like close to your base. After that, all the gold is going to be in the middle of the map, very exposed, very easy to harass early on. So if MarinelorD is able to deny the gold here from VortiX, could be looking very good for him. I'm still wondering though if that's what he's going to be going for. Last time I said that I would have loved to see the English player go for some horsemen as well, just to be able to like be more mobile on the map, have a little bit of like the ability to harass all around, like dive onto woodline, stuff like that. That helps out a ton in that kind of matchup. And yeah, maybe MarinelorD kind of looks at like the last game that he saw there with the same matchup that he only just played, and thinks about like maybe adapting a little bit to strategy. And Sloan Runner coming in here with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much. Still got a couple of seconds until we're going into our game number 4 here. So fellas, in the meantime, if you do have that Twitch Prime sub laying around, or even if not, if you do feel like you're able to give a little bit to EGCTV, who provide you all of that Age of Empires 4 esport goodness, we got our little 8 Empires at War community support goal there on the bottom right-hand side. And also, much more important, the best way to support EGCTV is going to be on !Patreon in the chat.
Exactly. Some great ways to support the future tournaments. We already have the EGC finals planned here in the coming future, but enough of the future. Let's talk about now. We are in game number 4 between VortiX and MarinelorD. MarinelorD's in the north as the English with that barracks drop immediately in the color red. VortiX in the south as the Mali, and I'm concerned. You see this on layout.
We see the thing. We see it. It's going to be the 2 gold mines right next to each other, 2 gold veins. And VortiX, he's immediately trying to expand onto that. Is he going to notice this? I mean, so far MarinelorD hasn't sent any villagers forward, but he does have a good chunk there that he could send if he wanted to. He's also getting wheelbarrow behind it. First man-at-arm is going to be in queue. I feel like if MarinelorD scouts out that gold position, Scout isn't moving towards it right now. If he spots out that there's 2 gold veins there, he's just going to do the same thing that VortiX did last game.
Yeah, the men-at-arms starting to move across. I believe he's sending a villager with it. Not 3, just 1 though, so not quite the same respect given as before. But here comes the scouting. This is exactly what he sees the first one, and then he sees the house. He knows.
Villagers. It's 13 villagers on the Mansa Quarry. VortiX, he wants that age up yesterday. That is going to be one of the fastest age ups to fuel age that we've ever seen here in Empire Wars.
I mean, it's fine. If you're Mali, your pit mines, you're immediately online. You're immediately going to be able to build that second pit mine, and your Mansa Quarry is already starting to produce those resources for you. But you can see what MarinelorD has planned. He's already got men-at-arms coming across. There's only a single villager, though.
Stable immediately gets dropped. I would have loved if that was a barracks, and if it was just like Musafati warriors coming out immediately against those men-at-arms. They're also able to very quickly take down that villager.
Very conservative tower right off the bat. Maybe just kind of doing this tower creep.
Yeah, it's outside of the vision here from VortiX. He's only just now gonna see it when the scout pushes forward. Now he sees it. Is he gonna pull villagers?
It's a scout in queue.
Oh, it's not a sofa. And he's gonna pull villagers for it.
There's so many men-at-arms here, though. This is going to cost some lives if you're going to do this. Actually, Outpost just gets canceled.
And the canceled Outpost, that's already some value there for VortiX. An Outpost takes an entire minute to be built. With 2 villagers, roughly 40-ish seconds. This already delays it a little bit. And if it gets delayed another time, that could buy VortiX enough time here. That's a lot of men-at-arms there. Villager goes down. The scouts get pulled. He's trying to burn this down as best as he can. This is why you bring more. Oh, it's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Oh. And look at the healing from the scouts. The fourth scout comes out.
Another outpost. Immediately. But that was
MarinelorD
like
just
these
now
warrior
hits
scouts are getting
Edge.
value. Yeah, and like every second these warrior scouts are outside of like not fighting right now, they're just gonna regenerate all of their HP.
And now they
the
focus
javelin
in on the
thrower.
vills. The javelin thrower arrives. 1 villager goes down. 2nd villager, he's going to have to run home, but he's going to die. Warrior scouts closing the gap. 1 falls, but huge win for VortiX here. He had never built the 2nd pit mine yet, but that's no problem. The outpost didn't go up.
Some villagers did go idle there on the wood line, get repositioned now. Behind that MarinelorD now also pushing forward with some longbows, but already javelin throwers are out now. And more are going to be in queue.
Yeah. Those warrior scouts, they actually want to go ahead and take these trades. Just go ahead and get as much damage down as possible on the men-at-arms, then just pull back, heal yourself up, or kill the scout, deny vision as well. 1 scout goes down, and just as we say, VortiX pulls on back. Javelin thrower still being produced. He moved out to build that pit mine, so it has 2 pit mines online as well.
That's some crazy vision that he got there through the wood line. He's able to almost kill another villager there, but now the javelin throwers are in. 7 longbowmen though. The numbers are still good here for MarinelorD. Has a good front line as well. But the more javelin throwers are going to be coming in, the easier it's going to be for VortiX to pick some units off there. Warrior Scout has to be careful though.
1 ran right into some spears. 1 more longbow shot would have killed it, but VortiX barely able to escape. MarinelorD has a very scary army already. VortiX doesn't really seem to be respecting it yet, or have the ability to respect it yet. He's got plenty of wood, plenty of gold in the bank, but not the food needed. Calboom doesn't look like it started.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too many cattle ranches here right now. MarinelorD still able to push out here. It was only 1 archery range here for most of the time now for VortiX. It's also got that very early blacksmith in.
The javelin thrower's taken great trades with only being, having 6 there, but really could use some more. He's at like
That
0.2
man-at-arm, yeah, that man-at-arm is not long for this world. He's basically
There are
only
fractions.
fractions in the game, indeed. 0 HP man-at-arm remaining alive for now. It's a good amount of longbows right now. With this many longbows, you could probably every now and then take like some decent engagements against the javelin throwers, but now there are 5 additional ones in the queue. Once we get like to the double-digit count on the javelin throwers, then it starts getting really tough there for MarinelorD. Interesting enough, like VortiX, he's behind in villagers right now. There's no 2nd TC from MarinelorD, and VortiX the one that killed 2 villagers. There must have been some idle time on the TC.
Yeah, must have been. And I mean, maybe he just had to respect this military mass, needed to prioritize a few more units, still getting idled off of that wood line again and again and again. And this makes it so difficult for VortiX to actually react, to actually respond to anything.
Let me take a look again. Does VortiX have any cows going right now? I know the Spanish brothers,
I don't think so. Oh,
there are some, okay. Like the Spanish brothers, every now and then they tend to go for the Faremba still. But I think nowadays it's been like established, right, that the Grand Falani Corral just gives you so much more security in the game. At this point in time, VortiX last game, he did have a 2nd TC. MarinelorD is just going for pure 1 TC aggression right now. More men-at-arms also going to be in queue here. But now Musafati Warriors are also going to be coming out.
We're finally getting to the point where VortiX is starting to slowly have that Molly economy come online. He is behind on the Vills like we talked about, but all of those passive resources are still helping him out so much. The pit mines now having the cows. I think he's got another cattle ranch being built, so he's just going to continue to expand that, and we can see his Q is also being helped because of that.
And behind that, I mean, VortiX is always going to be able to just kite out here so effectively with his units, just having that extra movement speed. Now he's pushing actually past the infantry mass here, past the front line, trying to take down some of these longbows, but that is not usually a position that you want to be in with the javelin throw, so has to fall back for now. Sure, his javelin throws absolutely destroy the longbows, but in order to get to them, you actually have to go so close that the men-at-arms can just dive onto you.
Yeah, and the Musafadis, they can't really get on top of the men-at-arms either because the range advantage of those longbows that you talked about, even with the javelin throwers, they can snipe down those Musafadi well too.
And now MarinelorD once again has to go on the back foot, and here we see the horseman play. This is what I've been waiting for. Triple stables and another farm cluster now coming online here for MarinelorD.
Well, you got to pay for those horsemen somehow, so the extra set of farms will easily be able to do that.
It's going to be a ton of horsemen here. He only needs 150 food per minute to pay for his TC, have full uptime. So he can, in theory, get like 6 horsemen out per minute.
Oh yeah, and look at the queue of the horsemen already. He's already got 4 out. He's got 8 more in queue. I mean, I feel like you can cancel those 8 and go to Castle Age if you want, but no, the horsemen, they're going to be so effective here during these next fights, and more importantly, they haven't been scouted yet. It's going to be the shock factor. They counter everything out on VortiX's side.
This is exactly what I would have liked to see in this last matchup. Now we're going to be seeing it here from MarinelorD. VortiX still messing up more and more javelin throwers. Looks like his Grand Falani Corral like food transition is pretty much over. If we see next to his TC, there's going to be a lot of cattle ranches. He's getting a lot of cows out here as well. So Grand Falani Corral could be aimed for soon.
MarinelorD's trying to make sure this scout doesn't get towards the base, doesn't get towards those stables to scout out the horseman transition, but it arrives in time, sees the triple stables, and VortiX should know he needs to respect this. You might even see these Musafadi get canceled, a couple more Donzo get queued up instead. Yep, there it is. Triple Donzo queue.
Immediately. Would have also loved to see some sofas to accompany that. There's only 2 spearmen from MarinelorD. Some sofas would be great there, but we're already on 12, 13 horsemen. And that's going to be a very scary army now, pushing across the map here from MarinelorD. That is 23 javelin throwers. I think that's enough to one-shot the horsemen.
Yeah, I mean, even still with the Donzo coming out, they're really not going to be too effective because longbows can snipe them out so easily, but there are the jab throwers. Everyone's stepping up. Villagers running back from the woodline again. MarinelorD taking the fight, but no network of castles. The horsemen diving in. Houses being a good little body blocker. Couple villagers going down. Javelin continuing to kite, but so much of VortiX's economy is going idle.
Yeah, a lot of the eco going idle, but a lot of the horsemen also going down. Some efficient kiting here coming out from VortiX. They're just getting retasked again. I think they should be going to the woodline a little bit closer to the left side here. They're always going to have to retreat when MarinelorD pushes in here. More and more horsemen still in queue, 15 out on the field. And like MarinelorD's just waiting for VortiX to push out a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he thought happened there, taking the engagement again. The villagers, they're so close, like you said. The front line gets cleared up quite quickly. Villagers have to run back, and now it's all on the Javs to kite yet again.
Almost able to take down all of the Musafadi warriors, as well as the Donzos that are pushing up a little bit too far.
This is good for MarinelorD because every single trade, what we've noticed is no longbows have been going down during these trades. So his longbow number has just been building and building. Yeah, he's been losing some horsemen. Yeah, he's been losing some men-at-arms. But the trades have been so effective. There's no front line for VortiX at all because the longbows, they shred it.
And even with all of the passive cattle food income, MarinelorD is the one right now with the much greater food income here behind all of that. Sure, VortiX has a huge gold income, and now he's actually trading out resources. I think he hasn't made a market somewhere. He just bought food. Now he's going to be able to go up to the next age. And here's the great thing with the Malians. Their veteran seed upgrades only cost half, and they come in like half the time that it usually takes other civilizations. But MarinelorD looks like he's not giving that VortiX that much time here. He's pushing in with a ram now.
The ram pushed up, decided to turn around. Is he waiting for another one? Waiting for the units? I do see an outline of an outpost there for MarinelorD. So I love that he needs the network of castles bonus during all of this. He's even pulling villagers, wants to get that outpost up even further. This timing push could be detrimental because you talked about that gold income coming in, those eco techs and everything being quicker, but you still need gold for that. VortiX has 400. The first pit mine about to be denied. Stepping up for this fight, he is able to get both of those techs into queue immediately. But how much damage will be done before it?
Pro stepping up here. Has to be careful. Lumberman, good enough numbers to start doing heavy damage to javelin throwers. Able to take him down in 1 or 2 shots. And now with the attack speed bonus as well.
Yeah, huge win there. And VortiX has so many houses here. He's about to get housed with the next couple shots. First, though, MarinelorD focusing in on the pit mine, still taking the trades. Donzo number, it's down to 5. MarinelorD, he's done such a good job at focusing in on the Donzo. Every time they step up, the longbows utilize their range so well. And right when that Donzo number gets cleaned, the horsemen have free reins to do whatever they want.
So many houses have been taken down. VortiX, it feels like he's just infinitely housed right now. He needs to invest so much wood into just getting those houses back up. Javelin throwers haven't been able to thin out the javelins.
This isn't good, though. He has to step up with the jabs. The few Donzo, though, able to get a brace in. A few more come out. Production starting to be hammered down, and there's still so many more houses. VortiX has to spend so many resources for production and to just stabilize this. Villagers get pulled to burn down the rams. Longbow spotted out.
Javelins, every now and then, the kiting, it's still going on very well here. And slowly but surely, the front line of MarinelorD's army gets thinned out. But it's taking a while, and behind that, the Rams, they did a lot of damage here. And there's a ton of outposts now up for MarinelorD. Look at that, though. VortiX in the middle of the map.
Oh, VortiX is snuck out to the middle somehow, some way. He's building houses around it. He knows he's about to get housed yet again. And why not go ahead and prep that next pit mine? The problem becomes if MarinelorD gets vision of this. He just noticed. It's over. The horsemen, they're there. Oh, no. This was VortiX's lifeline. This was the only reason VortiX was able to stabilize this from the push. He has no other gold. Triple outpost has already been dropped and upgraded with arrow slits.
And the outpost fortification also coming in here soon. VortiX is gonna need siege if he wants to take these outposts down. It's gonna be tough for MarinelorD.
Castle.
Yeah, the resource in the bank, absolutely massive. And he actually has more food income right now than VortiX does, even though VortiX is in the castle age with a fully fledged cow boom.
Yeah, I mean, triple English farm clusters with not being touched whatsoever throughout this whole game, and VortiX getting housed yet again. Those houses next to that other pit mine that he was planning did not get built, did not get finished, and the pit mine will be going down in just a second as well. VortiX, he's pushing up. He's trying to reclaim this before it burns down, but he's too late. Villagers arrive again, though, to gather some gold. He has bigger things to worry about, though, at home.
There's a crazy amount of horsemen still out on the field behind that VortiX. He's still been permanently housed here behind all of this. Just not able to push out with his own army or get any damage of his own out right now. Looks like he definitely needs a Sova switch here. Sofa, first one is going to be in queue, but the upgrades for those are going to be very expensive. It's going to be 350 gold alone for the imported armor that he's just now clicked.
MarinelorD has 1,300 wood in the bank. He can transition to whatever military he wants. He can drop more rams. He can drop more outposts. He can drop a ton of farm clusters. He has so many options here being the English, and he is in total control.
Total control indeed. Also now going for the relics. Still messing up more and more horsemen. Also getting the veterancy on those. And the single ram still in the base here from VortiX. Taking down production buildings.
And this one ram has got so much value. Look at the path of devastation behind this. More importantly, imagine if he was Mongols right now. He would have been able to pay for Imperial Age with the destruction he's had.
Yeah, indeed. Lots of villagers have been pulled also to take that ram down.
Ram's just trying to get back to the outpost. isn't able to get back to the outpost into range of that, but I think the Ram has done more than enough of its job.
Oh,
The
that's a
Horsemen
huge
now have
dummy.
upgrades. The Longbows now have upgrades. He's building an outpost there to try to get the network bonus as well before the main fight happens. Isn't able to do so, but Longbows still kiting so well. Horsemen stepping on up. The Donzo haven't been in great position there. The Stone Node again doing some great blocking though for VortiX this time. Donzo getting sniped out by MarinelorD though. 4 Donzo left during this fight. Horseman able to step up. Horseman able to get a surround and continue to step around these javelin throwers.
Javelin throwers trying to kite back here. Sofas now also coming in, but the mass difference. It's just too little right now. Too few Sofas. VortiX trying to get out more Sofas right now. Only 2 though. It's not going to be enough. MarinelorD, he's got so much production behind all of this. So many additional units. And look at how much wood VortiX invested into the middle here. And he's not going to be able to defend it right now.
And yet
behind that,
again,
MarinelorD
goal denied.
And behind that, MarinelorD, look at the stone. He's prepping for a keep. Keep in the middle to deny all the gold here from VortiX.
A keep in the middle to win the game and get yourself on to the potential series lock.
Awesome, and now clean it up, and with that, game gets called. It's going to be a 3-1 so far now from MarinelorD. MarinelorD, he's going to be on match point in this next game. He's about to potentially close out the set quickly here.
This is so crazy looking back at this game. MarinelorD, his tower rush failed. VortiX had gold, his pit mines online, but the problem I felt like is he never really transitioned to the Calboom early enough and never had that eco pay off, whereas MarinelorD continued to invest in the military, continued to put the pressure on, and just never let off the gas.
Also, it was a lot of like these kind of blind reactions, right? Like VortiX, he went for the Musafati warriors at a point in time where MarinelorD still had so many longbows out and where he never really invested too much into those men-at-arms. And then the horsemen, they went unanswered for quite a long time there. Sure, the Donzos in theory counter them, but there are so many longbows out there that Donzos they never really got to a point where they were able to like take effective trades against the horsemen. We really need to see Sofas there from VortiX. And I feel like MarinelorD, he just played it absolutely perfectly with that transition into Horseman. As I said earlier, that's really what I want to see from VortiX there in that last one, where we last saw that matchup happen. It just feels like the right kind of play there to make into this kind of situation. And yeah, just MarinelorD played it absolutely beautifully there. Able to go to a 3-1. And now we're going to be seeing a Ruse Mirror coming in here. It's going to be on Tempe.
Yeah, that was one of those that I felt like the micro last match from MarinelorD. Every single time, if we rewatched each and every one of the fights, longbows always were just hitting the Donzo, hitting the Musafatis when they were there, and it just definitely created an opening for the Horsemen to actually be effective. But great game number 4 by him. VortiX still has a shot in this. He wants to go ahead, win the Ruse Mirror on Tempe. And Tempe is a map that I always love. It has a spot in my heart. It's a very interesting, I like to call it the upgraded Altai.
Yeah, so imagine Altai, but you take like half of the cliffs out, you add another sacred site, and you add 2 more boars. That's what Tempe is. And it's a very aggressive map. And yeah, lots of potential to like scale your economy without farms, meaning that players tend to like stick around longer in like these early ages, try to take map control, try to make use of these resources that are out on the map instead of like turtling up in their base or like trying to go for an age up. It's a very open map. Also a lot of stealth forest in the middle of it, so there's always the potential to like find your army a little bit out of position. So you gotta make sure that you always know what your opponent's up to.
Yeah, I feel like I think I saw B play Ruse on Tempe before, and he had like a set of like, 2 scouts and 2 knights literally just go kill all 4 boar. And we looked at, I think it actually might have been a Ruse Mirror last week or the week prior. And we looked and he was at like 500 bounty. His opponent was at like 150. And we were like, oh, well, he's got a good leg up on this game. So that's always one of the things that we're going to kind of focus in on this game is the boar control, not necessarily who's gathering from them, but who secures them all. Because great way to get your difference on the mirror.
We also saw Mr. play the Ruse here. I think it was in a set against Recon, if I recall correctly, where he made like 70 knights at one point in the game and just Even though Recon had like all the counter units like Mass Spear and Mass Streltsy, it just wasn't enough. Like the Night Flood just into the base of Recon there. Ruse definitely a very good civilization here on Tempe.
Yeah, very interesting. We still got a little bit of time until this next game starts. So, in this meantime, I see some people complaining about some ads or whatever. Great way to not see those. Throw your sub on in, and we'll see that community support goal on that bottom right corner just kind of continue to tick up. You can already see how close we are to 1,000. You know, we're not quite all the way of what we want to be at, but a great way to kind of get there is just one at a time, sub in, prime sub, or we just still appreciate the viewership if that's all you want to end up doing as well.
Yeah, there's also been a lot of support over on Patreon, so that really doesn't get shown there in that community support goal. Patreon is the best way to support EGCTV. You can see it there in the chat, !Patreon. It's just the best way to support EGC, support them to be able to like bring you all of these amazing tournaments. Every little bit helps there. You can choose how much you want to support EGCTV there on a monthly basis. And every little bit there just goes into the production of these tournaments, helps us raise the prize pool on them, and yeah, just helps elevate Age of Empires 4 esports to a new level.
Exactly. But now this timer's starting to tick down a little bit. We're getting this game number 5 of our final semifinal series today started. And here we go. VortiX in the color blue on Tempe, playing against MarinelorD in the color red in the Ruse mirror matchup.
Look at that. Here in Empire Wars, the Ruse already start with 3 scouts. MarinelorD says that's not enough. He's going to go for a 4th scout. He does not want to get stuck on 80 Bunty here. And immediately sees that 4th scout now moving out on the map. We can see the deer spot here. 2 deer spots from MarinelorD close to each other. VortiX already has a scout there. Tries to deny some of the income here.
Yeah, this is a great job by VortiX. Able to scout these out early, able to pick up one of the deer, actually picking up 2 now, and forcing MarinelorD to use some extra APM to secure up these deer packs for himself.
And now 2nd scout is there. Means that MarinelorD is going to be able to secure up the rest of these deer spots. Oh, VortiX has an interesting deer spawn there. It's a little bit hidden in between that little cliffside there. He hasn't scouted yet, and looks like he also hasn't scouted the back of space at all. Yeah,
VortiX might be the 80 Bounty one in this game. This is actually looking very scary as MarinelorD securing up wolves for himself, secures up both his deer packs, and he's about to have VortiX's first one fully secured.
Look at that. VortiX going up with the Kremlin here. We don't see the Kremlin too often here in Empire Wars, because in Empire Wars, the Ruse civilization actually starts with a free wooden fortress. So they immediately get that 20% additional wood income here. And man, the 4 scout play from MarinelorD definitely paying off here. Just VortiX also just not really scouting the back of his base, not really scouting his deer here. Could be attributed to just a little bit of an unlucky spawn. And the scout from MarinelorD is going to be there in time. It's going to be another scout war here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge win for MarinelorD. The 4 scout play is 100% paying off, and it's not like he had to idle his town center for that extra scout. He just built it out of the hunting cabin that spawns from the start, forcing that other scout that is lower health away potentially, but VortiX brings up some reinforcements, so should be able to secure the... Oh, no. Oh, don't do it, VortiX.
Okay, able to get back.
MarinelorD's able to secure this now because VortiX, he can't bring that scout back.
MarinelorD also brings additional scouts now that you're dead. So that's done and dusted, but I think it's probably that time in the game, right, Dabston? I think it's time to bet the bounty and see how our players are doing here. What do you think? What's VortiX and MarinelorD sitting at?
I think MarinelorD's sitting at 325 and VortiX is at like 115.
Do you mind? There hasn't been a board kill yet, so I'm gonna guess that MarinelorD is sitting at like 275 and VortiX at 150.
Oh,
240 for MarinelorD, then it's and 140 for VortiX. So VortiX 100 bounty behind right now. So get some wolves though.
And there's a second wolf in screen that we see, not necessarily he can see yet, but an extra 50 bounty can go a long way. It would mean the next boar or one boar would bring him above that 250 mark.
Yeah, both players got excellent ball positions there in the back of their base. And that's going to be a position for VortiX's third TC. Both players going for a 3 TC build here. VortiX's TCs are nice and back in the base. One of MarinelorD's TCs, though, very far in the front. Could be a point for VortiX to aggress on.
But look at the timings for MarinelorD. And this is due to that golden gate. He was able to have both TCs finished before VortiX was like starting his third one. So really, that's where you can kind of see a little bit of the eco lead already in MarinelorD's favor just a bit. And from here, I wouldn't be too surprised to see both of them just rush up towards Castle Age.
Could be a way to play this. MarinelorD behind this, getting all the eco upgrades. VortiX on the opposite side. Already got the double VortiX. Wheelbarrow as well for him. I mean, horticulture doesn't really give you a lot right now. Mainly because both players right now, they're mostly gathering from the hunter builds.
Yeah, you're 100% correct there. Kind of, okay, we do see double VortiX for who. So MarinelorD just kind of focusing on all the eco upgrades to start off here in Feudal Age. And we've seen a lot of that in Empire Wars in general, just because of with how many villagers it's paying off with and how quick you actually get eco in general.
Look at that. As you said, it seems to be a fast Castle Age play coming out of both players. We're seeing straight macro to Castle Age. Also stables coming out of both players, so very likely going to be a Castle Age play. And yeah, the woodline here, as Vodka is pointing out, looking very, very nice here for VortiX. Has some options on where he wants to place that high trade house. MarinelorD's going to be first one to click that high trade house. He doesn't get quite as nice of a position here, but the high trade house has been adjusted previously, so it doesn't really spike too much in the directions when it comes to the gold income, depending on like where you place it.
Yeah, and looking at the relics, MarinelorD obviously has some easily secured relics on his side. And okay, not quite the spot we were expecting. Still going to be some great gold income there, I believe. Getting a good amount of multiple of those for us. But from here, this is where we'll usually see, right when the high trade house finishes, we'll see a monastery get dropped as well. Night production already should be online as the high trade house is building, because you want to go ahead, start taking this map control, secure the relics for yourself, secure some of these next resources as well.
MarinelorD's going to stable 1 archer range. VortiX is heavily committing to the stable play here. Third stable now going up. As you said, monastery immediately being dropped here by MarinelorD. And it's going to be crossbowman immediately with it. I love that play. Immediate crossbow production helps you so much in these engagements. When you have like the knight frontline.
Yeah, you still are able to send knights to your opponent's side, still able to raid your opponent, and then the head-on in engagements, you're going to win so heavily because your opponent has to either take them or not. If he doesn't take the fight, you're going to end up slowly getting damage in with your crossbows because you have range.
Both players now also walling up their side of the mountain here. Knight clash on clash. Now falling back though. Crossbow still being masked. I really like this play. Just seeing the crossbowman immediately, like not that really heavy knight play. Only issue is gonna be that MarinelorD is gonna have to like really scout where VortiX's army is gonna be, because his army is gonna be way less mobile.
Yeah, the crazy thing here is like VortiX has 4 knights, 2 more in queue. MarinelorD has 2 knights, 4 more in queue, but also has the crossbow production. So it feels like he's just almost like a step ahead already.
Let's take a look quickly and see that high trade house income right now. And we can compare the different spots here. MarinelorD, he's getting 134 gold out. VortiX, he's getting 184. So it's a good bit difference, like half a relic there difference. Meanwhile, MarinelorD, the first one to collect one of the relics here. It's already on its way back to its base.
MarinelorD does have that Vil lead already. It's a 5 Vil lead. Sometimes it's 8, depending on the timing that you look up at the chart, though. But it is at minimum a 5 here, which is really starting to probably give him that leg up I was talking about. He's walling off his side. VortiX is walled off his side as well on the side of the cliff we were talking about. So kind of giving yourself a good bit of control, some gold mines behind it as well.
Oh, also getting killed. Gets that extra bounty here. Immediate wooden fortress there, so food income is going to be secured there. VortiX running around with the knights. Finds a couple of villagers there. Has too many villagers to all jump into the TC. And with that, a couple of villagers will go down here.
Yeah, and these are Castle Age Knights. No ranged armor in yet. We see it in queue currently, but able to equalize that Vil count just a little bit. And some engagements happening on the other side. Heard a relic get picked up. Sounded like MarinelorD winning those engagements, pushing some of VortiX's military back because he's having the other military in the base.
Big problem here, though. For VortiX is behind all of this MarinelorD. He's already got 11, 12 crossbowmen out on the field. He's getting to the point where he's going to be able to one-shot these knights, and he's also got the relic advantage here so far. There's still a relic way back in the base for MarinelorD to get. Yeah, it feels like it's going to be a 4-1 relic game here. Fight happening in the middle. At the knight count, they're trying to get the crossbowman here.
They're doing a good job getting the crossbowman, but the crossbows did such an unbelievable job. Every time there was a low health knight leaving, it was able to focus in on the low health knight, finish it up. Knight's going in for another raid on that secondary TC because if it works once, why not go for it again?
Yeah, but now MarinelorD has the troops there. VortiX not immediately reacting here. Loses 1, losing 2 knights.
3 knights? Oh, actually 4.
4.
Crossbows on the other side. Look at the side as well.
So many knights went down there. And VortiX is now also going into his own crossbowman. But it's on a delay. He only has 14 military units out on the field. MarinelorD has 30.
Yeah, it never feels good when you're going with the same military composition, but you're reacting to it late. You're a step behind. MarinelorD 16 crossbows, VortiX 6. MarinelorD 11 knights, VortiX 9.
Oh, they're going to get trapped as well.
1 less as MarinelorD going to wall in this last night, take 1 more beneficial trade, and this is where he can kind of just group up. He's got 4 relics to 0, and it's just been kind of taking this game a step at a time, just slowly and methodically.
This is looking really, really solid right now for MarinelorD here. Also securing that boar here. Or it's going to go the long route. Or it's going to return. Villagers, are they going to... It's already generated as HP, okay.
All right, you know, it is what it is. Another attempted dive by VortiX, but immediately caught out, and MarinelorD, he's got 2 sets of crossbows there to catch out this night raid, and those knights such an inexpensive unit.
The Kremlin militia has been called, but where are they? Where are they going right now? They're going for the boar. That is not MarinelorD's main economy. MarinelorD's economy, it's just all over the place. It's not in one spot. This harass does not really work, but it looks like VortiX is going for it. Yeah, how much is left in that boar even? Is it worth it? There's only 1,000 left.
I mean,
it's all the militia for 1,000 food, which he's not even guaranteed to be getting here.
And this is crazy. The militia are out, and you're like, oh, the military counts are even. This is a dead even matchup. It's like, wait, the militia have been out. Like, this isn't looking good at all. MarinelorD, again, taking a beneficial trade. Knights diving onto the crossbows. The crossbow numbers just heavily in his favor. The knight numbers in his favor as well. And this is looking like he is about to get the leg up on game number 5, the deciding game. And that is the case. VortiX realizes not going to be able to come back.
And that is it. It's going to be a 4-1. For MarinelorD. Match point has been secured, and with that, we already know who our finalists are gonna be. And man, that is gonna be an exciting matchup. It is gonna be MarinelorD versus 3DB here in the Empires at War finals.